What's going on, everybody? Daniel Cruz here. We are back again this week, just like I had said last week. So we're breaking down another beat today, but I'm gonna try to go into a little more detail about specifically like the trap beats that I do, like how do I make them drop so hard. I'll go over certain techniques that I do with my instruments and sound design and stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go a little more into detail about how I structure it. I think that plays a big part about, you know, drops and stuff, structuring, and then the instruments that I use, and just overall how I make it just drop so hard. So I'll try to touch base with that a little more in this video. We're gonna be breaking it down again, everything in detail, just as usual. And you guys know the drill. Please leave a thumbs up on the video if you can. Take that 0.2 seconds out of your time just to hit it real quick. And then along with who you're gonna hear on this beat here and feedback on the beat itself. Let me know in the comments. Let's jump in on it. There's our main melody. I was just inspired by the patch, played those chords, and that's what I came up with. So we have Chaos Bowl 6 here in Omnisphere, and as far as what we did to it, we got some EQ onto it, some echo melt, and a little bit of gross beat to get it to sound that way. I'm gonna play it real quick with everything turned off and then turn everything back on just so you can hear the difference in what I did to it. So I think that's like step one with, you know, making your beats really stand out. Just really focus on some sound design. Take some time out to really just play with some effects plugins and stuff like that. That's what I do pretty much for every single beat. All the patches that I use, 99% of the time, they're not the raw patch that comes in the VST. I'm always tweaking knobs and adding effects and stuff just to make it sound different. Even if it's just a subtle difference, that can go a long way. So just really just making that small difference just to set yourself apart really pays off in the long run. That's step one to make your beats hard. Let's go into the second thing that I added now that just sits behind what we played. So this patch here, again, came from Omnisphere Airplink Music Box. And I know I put movement onto this one. It's the it's like a sound design VST. I use it in other videos, and if you've seen the other videos, I always have to explain that I have to render it to audio because my CPU doesn't take movement well. A lot of popping and crackling and all that. I can't remember the name of the exact preset in movement, but it did give it a nice cool touch to it. So let's play it now with the effects onto it. So I guess this is what step two would be, which I actually went over in last week's video, which is simplicity. If you notice here, I just have really two things going on right here. It's actually just one. I like to think of it as one thing. It's just this, the Airplink. It's gonna sit behind. It just complements what's already going on. And throughout the verse and stuff, again, I really only have one instrument really going on here. So you gotta really find that line on simple but effective. Sometimes simple can be weak. Like I could play something simple and it'll come out really trash. It's just got to be simple and catchy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So real quick, going in before the drop here, just as a transition, I got a reverse cymbal here and some rise and hit as well. That's going to come in right as the beat drops here. So coming into the part that drops, I took our main bell pad melody that I played in the very beginning, put it into an audio clip, which you can see right here, just to show you. This is the clip right here. But what I did right here with this clip, the reason why it's in audio is so I can drop it a whole octave down. So now this is what we have, what it sounds like. All I did in addition to that was add this little key choir pad here, the Atlantean key choir. I've used this one a lot. Just played the chords that sit behind what we have. So all together, layering it together, this is what we got. And that's all we have for that. Again, really put an emphasis on simplicity here. Drums also drop here. Let's start going over those. Starting off with real simple closed hats. So layer, snare, pick, and the 808. So there's our drums there. Even that's real simple right there. I'm going to play it from the top now, and we're just going to play this full 8-bar loop that we now have, and we're going to see how it sounds like. So as you can see, that drop is really hard. At least I think it is. So what I've been doing, I'll do this to some of my beats to, this is to make the drops real hard, is you bring in like the intro, which we started off with, right? And when it drops, your main melody will drop out and another melody will come in that's pretty much the same as what you first played, but different. Like I said, I put the main melody we had into an audio clip here, and I dropped the pitch down. So I guess what that does to like the listener's ears or whatever, it's just unexpected, and I think that's what makes it drop hard. Just that element of surprise. So that's just something that I do personally for my beats and everything, how I make them. You could take them, do your own thing, have fun with it, experiment. But the reason why it sounds like that again is because I think, we're dropping out what we have already and then we're putting something else in. Let me actually go in and keep my main melody playing and just see how it drops in. Again, the drums will still be the same, but again, to the listener, it's just gonna sound a little different here. That doesn't sound bad at all, but if you really want to go that extra mile to make it sound much better, again, what I had here, where I dropped down the pitch and everything, it's just gonna sound, it just sounds doper to me, Again, this is an opinion thing, so you can do whatever you want, but this is just how I make my beats drop as hard as they do. So now moving on to the second part of this verse here. Took our main melody again, it's in the audio form, brought the octave back up so it's in the original pitch now. And on top of that, I added some tremolator on top of it too, just to give it a cool little effect. And this is where the drums in full are gonna drop, so there's gonna be a lot more stuff going on in this section. you can see that this is my only instrument. Simplicity is key. So as I said, we're gonna have more drums going on, a lot more going on with the drums. I'm gonna go over those now. I'm gonna keep what we had before and then add everything else in that I added. So this is everything we had already before. Just open the hat. Kicks are different here. Got another layer of some Cruz hats. What's going on here? So that's all the drums there that I use. Again, that's going to drop after the first 4 bars of the beginning of that verse. It's going to come into that. Then after these 4 bars, we're going to go back to the octave down again with the choir pad, but the same drums. This is what it sounds like. So after this is where the hook comes in, or the break, however the artist wants to take it. So the only thing that I added to this part was a bass. This is something that I usually do for these types of beats. For like the break, I'll just have a bass, not an 808, just a bass that plays without drums or anything. So we got it up right here, apocalyptic bass here in Omnisphere, just real simple. And for the second part after that, I just brought back our choir pad here and some of the basic drums that we started off with here in the beginning. Play from the top here going into this part. There goes the whole beat right there. That's all there is to it. Pretty much what goes to my head when I'm trying to make the beat drop super hard and just sound cool and different. Really hope you enjoyed this one. Remember to leave a like, please, or leave a dislike. Let me know what you think about the beat itself and who you would hear on this as well. And again, I think the 3 points I was trying to make in this video was simple and effective, sound design, and just having the right change-ups that harmonize well with what you're doing. That is all for me for today. I will see you again next week in the next episode. I'm out. Peace.